Afternoon and Good afternoon and good evening. We are recording this session, but just to know that we're only going to record the presentation part, the Q&A part at the end. We won't be recording. We'll go through a couple of housekeeping tips in a minute. I just want to welcome you all. My name is Michael Kaiser. I'm the president and CEO of Defending Digital Campaigns, and I'm joined in this session tonight by Betty Fleming, who's our Director of Onboarding Support at DDC. Betty, say a quick hello.
Hello, everyone. I will see you back here in a couple minutes.
Yeah, Betty will be helping walk you through some of the products that we want to show you tonight. And Tiffany, say hello. Tiffany, our Director of Special Initiatives. She'll be in the chat answering your questions and dropping some really helpful information. Say hey, Tiffany.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining, and feel free to ask questions as we go along, and I'll try to get them answered as quickly as possible. Thanks for joining.
Great. Thank you all. And thank you all for joining us. We're really thrilled you're here. This is the first time we've presented this training in this kind of a way, so we're excited to get going. Just a couple of housekeeping tips. DDC is a nonpartisan, non-aligned training organization. This is a nonpartisan training. So there could be attendees with varying points of view from the same party, from different parties, from different kinds of organizations with different beliefs. So just be respectful in the chat. Really just keep any chat comments to questions about the content or the content itself, and everything will be fine. And as I said, this question is being recorded. Sorry. So just a note on the chat too. The chat is open. Most people know this because everybody's kind of Zoom competent these days. But you can leave a public question in the chat, and public questions are fine because often if you have a question, somebody else has the same question as you. But if you want to send a private question or comment to us directly, you can do that by selecting host and panelist at the very bottom, and that will only come through to us and no one else will see it. Just quickly, what we're going to cover today, why you are at higher risk. We're going to show you this is a combination training of kind of like talking at you, but a lot of also literally showing you how to turn these services on. And you are more than welcome to play alone at the home game. And some of these you can do right as Betty is demonstrating how they work. We're going to look at Google's Advanced Protection Program, which is kind of a mandatory thing that everybody needs to do if you're a Google user. We'll look at results about you, which is a great way to get information about you removed from the web, dark web monitoring, and then how to just do a little quick check on your security, privacy, and the password manager. And of course, the DDC team here to answer your questions, which is really important. So all the things that we're going to discuss today, all these tools that we have that we're going to go over with you, and we'll put this link up a couple times during the training, are all in one portal page on our website at defendcampaigns.org, protect yourself. And we have the Google tools, and we also have Microsoft tools for Microsoft users, for high-risk users. So it's just a really easy portal, one stop, to just like activate some of these services. We'll take you right to where they go. And then for those of you who don't know about us quickly, we are, like I said, nonpartisan, non-aligned. We've been around since 2019. We have a Federal Election Commission AO and similar advisory opinions in Georgia, Michigan, Ohio, and Virginia, which allow us to do something quite extraordinary, which is take cybersecurity products from companies, give them directly to eligible entities at the federal level in those states. And those donations that we make to those campaigns of cybersecurity services are waived from campaign finance law. There is no reporting of those contributions, and there's no limit to the amount of money that those contributions can be. We've given away over $11 million in products since we've been working, and we've helped more than probably it's really closer to 900 campaigns at this point. And what we're doing tonight, we've trained thousands of people on cybersecurity. It's one of the favorite things that we do. We love talking to you all and reaching out in the community and helping people be more secure. So let's dig right in. So we say, and when I say we, I don't mean me or Betty or Tiffany here tonight. I mean DDC, Google, Microsoft, Meta, Cloudflare, all kinds of people, organizations, people, and companies say that people who work in politics are among the highest risk, if not the highest risk, technology users on the internet. And so you all here tonight are likely working in politics or affiliated in some way, and that makes you a high risk technology user. And we want you to own that understanding of that high risk, because we want you to make sure that you're doing everything you can to protect yourself. And I'll talk a little bit in a second about why you're at higher risk. But this includes, obviously, if you're on a campaign, the candidate, the family members of the candidate, the friends of the candidate, the staff, of course, of a campaign, the volunteers of a campaign, or to a state party or to a political organization. It's true of organizations and campaigns, both. Any vendors to those campaigns or organizations. And of course, if you're an influencer on social, if you're a content creator, and journalists, journalists are the other group of high risk technology users that are equal to the people in the political sector. So, what makes you at higher risk? Well, there are a few things. One is the nature of the bad actors, right? So, most technology users, computer users at home, right? Whatever they're doing, they're banking, they're social networking, they're shopping, they may be doing, some other gaming, whatever they're doing. Their main risk out on the internet is going to be cyber criminals, right? We all know this. There's a lot of bad actors trying to steal your credit card number, trying to get in your bank account, trying to scam you, trying to get you to reveal, personal information by phishing you, those kinds of things. And so everybody, that's kind of the general risk that we all face. However, in this sector, you also face other bad actors. So I think we're all pretty aware of nation states, right? I mean, you hear it in the news, they're after us, they're after us, this after us, right? Well, okay, so what are they trying to do? There's a couple of things that nation states are trying to do. I think what you hear most about is trying to disrupt our democracy. And that's really quite simply for some of our most major adversaries, the success of our democracy is not a good look for them, right? They want they want to divide us. They want their democracy to not be working because that just reinforces their system of being, see that democracy stuff, not for us, right? So they have that out there. But they also conduct espionage, and unfortunately, even our friends conduct espionage, right? Especially about people in the political sector. They want to know what you're thinking. They want to know what a candidate's policies will be. They may want to steal, policy information, other kinds of information. They may be building dossiers. That's something like the Chinese like to do a lot. They want to know who's out there. Maybe you have a candidate that's running for the U.S. House today, but 10 years from now they're running for president, right? So they're going to build a dossier. They're going to try and fish and spearfish. That's very targeted phishing. They might hack and release confidential information if they were trying to embarrass someone. And then there are hacktivists. And hacktivists really are, could be a person, a group of people who are not aligned in any way. They could be in favor of a candidate, against a candidate. They could be in favor or against a specific policy. They could just be against the whole thing and say, like, we're against everything. We don't want the system to work. We don't think the system works. And so they look for disruption to further an end or a point of view. They do things like deface websites and bring them down, to get their message up, in a place or embarrass someone. And again, they might be in that hack and release confidential information kind of mode to embarrass a candidate, who they disagree with. So this combination of actors and the combination of activities is what makes you at higher risk. So let's start to dig down now into what you do about that. Uh, you know, the fundamental thing that you have to protect are your accounts. It is the number one vector of attack, both in the political sector and across the internet writ large. Getting into people's account is what everybody tries to do. So you have to lock down your logins. And you've all heard of MFA. If I said, raise your hand if you've heard of MFA, everybody be like, I've heard of it. But the question is, do you know what it really is? And do you know which forms are better than others? And that's what we're going to talk to you about a little bit tonight. So MFA, very quickly, is something that like if you have a password or you get a text message with a code to enter into a little box on a website or on your phone. That's something that right? It could be, or a shared secret is sometimes what we call a password. It's something that you are, right? These are the factors of MFA. It could be, a biometric like a facial scan. Many of you probably use a facial scan to get into your phone, use a fingerprint to get into your phone or your computer, right? So, that's something that you are, that's a factor, or something that you have. And something that you have can be a device because devices are unique identifiers, so they can be factors. And you can have a couple of other things. One is a security key, a FIDO compliant security key, and the other is a pass key. And these are both really important elements in multi-factor authentication. The security key is a physical key that you can register with many accounts across the internet, on X, on Meta, on Google, on Microsoft, on Dropbox, one key. And when you register that key, which has encrypted code in it, sometimes, not always, you'll be asked to touch the key, put it in and touch it so that they know it's you. Security keys and passkeys also are unphishable. They can't be copied. A passkey is a digital credential that resides on your device. So you go to your device, you click on, you facial scan into your phone, you tap an app, you do your fingerprint, you it goes to the app that you're trying to open. It looks for the passkey, it sees the passkey, it lets you in without a password. So it's passwordless, high protection, phishing resistant, un can't be stolen and can't be copied. And this is important because you need to understand that not all forms of MFA are created equal and protect you equally. Obviously, passwords, we all know this. They're not a secure form of authentication. SMS voice text, these texts that they want to send you with codes are not secure. I mean, just think about it. You go and we want to send you a code. Where should we send it? Should we send it to your email? Would you like it there today? Fine, click here. Well, if I own your email, that's all I do. And then they send me the code to my email and now I'm in your account. Like they used to be somewhat secure. Now they're not secure at all. Some of these other forms of security, like backup codes to maybe account recovery, many of you probably use an authenticator app like Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, Authy. There's a bunch of these. They create a temporary one-time password. Those are very good. They're not the highest form of security. They're better than nothing. Mobile push, you'll see a little bit more now, which is like I try to log into account and then it says, hey, go to the app and open it up and you'll see a little screen that says, are you trying to get into that account? Click yes. Or sometimes you'll just see it on your phone when you open your phone. They'll tell you to go to your phone if you're on a computer, for example. But the strongest by far are those FIDO security keys, of which Google has one called the Titan key. We work very closely with Yubico. They have the YubiKey. This is where you want to be at in security for your accounts. The FIDO security key and a passkey. And passkeys are free and they're not, every service has them yet, but any service that offers them, you must be using. So now you've heard enough from me, and I'm going to hand it over to Betty. And Betty's going to show you, and if you want to, you can, many people, when we do this training, turn on Google's APP while she's demoing it. So take it away, Betty.
Thanks, Michael. Hi, everyone. I am Betty, and I am DDC's Director of Support and Onboarding. And I'm going to show you how to turn on Google Advanced Protection Program using a passkey. So, Google Advanced Protection Program, or APP as we call it, safeguards the workspace and personal accounts of users with high visibility and sensitive information who are most at risk for targeted online attacks. The number one threat that people in the political sector face is account break-ins. So, to prevent these, DDC recommends using a passkey with APP as a core protection. So, now I'll show you how to turn it on. So one of the ways to get to Google Advanced Protection is actually to Google Google Advanced Protection Program. So I will click on that first link there. And then in the top right, I am going to click the blue Get Started button. And then I will enter my credentials. And then if you already have a passkey created, you'll be able to just click Enroll in Advanced Protection without creating a passkey. But for this demo, I'm going to show you how to create a passkey. So you can click this right here where it says create at least one passkey or security key. And then I'll click Create Passkey again. And then create passkey again. It's just giving you a little information here. And then sometimes you can't see all of these pop-ups, so you just want to follow whatever it says is on screen. Mine is a notice that says this passkey will only be saved on this device, so I'll click continue. And now it is asking me to authenticate my device by touching the designated spot on my computer. So for me, that's how I authenticate my device device, it might be different for you. Yours might say to scan a QR code. So you just want to you just want to follow whatever it says. It's very intuitive and it'll know what to tell you to do. So I will touch the designated spot on my computer, and that is it. I now have my passkey created. And now that my passkey is created, I will click Enroll in Advanced Protection, this blue button at the bottom. And that's it. So now I'm enrolled in advanced protection program using my passkey. This is reminding me that I want to add a recovery phone and recovery email. That's definitely a smart thing to do in case you ever have any trouble getting in, especially now that you have that extra layer of security. So we'll come back and I'll show you how to add those in just a few minutes. So back to you, Michael.
Thanks, Betty. And Tiffany, if there are any pertinent questions, you can ask them in a moment. So just to review this, you're gonna first use the strongest form of authentication that the service provider provides. So obviously, not everybody has passkeys, not everybody uses security keys. Some people still use passwords as the only way to get in. So you want to have a good password. Then you're going to turn on Google's Advanced Protection Program. And that's going to protect your account. And you're going to do that on your personal and your workspace account, both actually is where you want to do it. And if you're a Microsoft user, or many people like, I have a Microsoft PC, but I run Google on top of my PC, you can get a passkey for Microsoft as well. And if you're a Microsoft shop, they have what's known as Account Guard, which is their similar product to Advanced Protection Program, excuse me, that you can apply for. And we have information about that on our website. So feel free to come and look at that. Then, now that you've hardened that credential as strong as it could be, you can go ahead across the web and where it says sign in with Google or sign in with Microsoft, you can use that credential because you're taking that very hardened, phishing resistant credential with you. So if you open a new account, for example, and you can open it with your Gmail account, that's with APP, you'll be much more secure. And just for the record, they don't really, I think some people think, oh, they must share all this information. They actually don't. When you do that with a new service, the only thing that gets shared is your email address. And if you have a profile picture in your Google account, that's all that gets shared in that exchange of information. Were there any particular
Yeah,
questions?
Michael, there was a really good question. Somebody said if you add a recovery phone, does that create a less secure way for actors to get around passkeys? What
Um,
should they do?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Um, if you add a recovery phone, it doesn't as much because they would have to have your phone to get back into your account, right? So cybersecurity is about risk reduction. So someone actually going through that, and yes, it could happen. They could have your phone and then they could get into your accounts. And if your phone is lost or stolen, that could create a problem. But that shouldn't be a barrier to turning on Google's APP because for the most of the time you're going to be using APP. You're going to be using, you're going to have everything in front of you. And also, if you did lose your phone and your phone is as a biometric to get into it, they're not going to be able to get into your phone to do that. Hope that answers that question. Okay, so on to results about you. So, results about you is a relatively new service product from Google. It's free. Everything we're talking about, by the way, here is free. I probably should have said that. Maybe I did. Can remember that. And it does something really great. So, results about you will help remove certain kinds of information from Google search. Won't take it off the internet if it's on a website, but it will prevent that information from appearing if someone searches about you. There are two ways that results about you works. One is there's an auto scanning function, and we're going to show you both of these in a second. And then there's another one where if you find like certain kinds of information like these things on the on the right side of the slide here, you can report them through this form to Google, and they will review them for approval and to not be shown in search. So, the kinds of auto information that can be removed are things like your phone number, your home address, and email that might appear in a search. But let's move right on to Betty, who will demo how this works.
Thanks, Michael. For results about you, similarly to Advanced Protection Program, one way to find it is to Google results about you. Also, all of these are links are on our website as well, which I'll show you in a minute. But so what you want to do is Google results about you, and then you can click either this link, results about you, or get started. And then you'll see this screen, take control of results about you. So I'm just going to go through it and fill out the information. Um, Put in your name, put in your address. That looks like a good address. And you want to make sure that you put in previous addresses as well, because that will help make the scan function more detailed to previous places you've lived as well. So put in my email. And then you can add multiples as you see. You can also always go back and change or delete these. And I'll click continue. And then you can double check to make all of this information, make sure all of this information is correct. Right here, you have your notification settings. So I would like email notifications when more results about me are found, as well as getting results in the app if you want. And you can also just come back and check this site by Googling it. Come back here to see your results. So I'll confirm and I will click save. And as you can see, monitoring is now on. So the first check usually takes about 6 hours. Sometimes it can take a little bit longer. I'd usually suggest giving yourself a day before expecting to find anything. And once the results are found, they will appear here, as well as getting an email notification. So, as Michael mentioned, this was just the basic scan for results, like your the things that I put in, name, address, etc. As we mentioned, there is a more detailed search for results, or more a detailed removal form for results that I'm going to show you. And this is one way to access things is through our website. You can go to defendcampaigns.org, click protect yourself, and then I'm going to scroll down to results about you, remove your info. It lists the different kind of information that can be found that's a little more detailed, like images of minors, personally identifiable information. I'm going to click on personal sexual content and just show you some more examples of that. We've got sexual content with you in it, fake content, and then deep fakes, etc. So it can give you an idea of the kind of more specific, more detailed information you can remove, as well as images. So to remove that, I will just go up here and click this blue button, start removal request, and it's going to ask you what you're trying to remove, your country. I'm not going to fill this form out right now, but you just want to follow whatever it says on screen and answer the questions. And again, like results about you, it will notify you once it's found this through email. So, and then again, you can always just go back to that website to check your results if you don't want those email notifications. So that's results about you. And back to you, Michael.
And
Thanks,
Betty,
Betty.
we got a really good question about results about you. Does one monitor cover multiple names for yourself, or do you need multiple monitors for multiple names to set up? What's the best way to do that?
You can do one monitor with multiple names. I can just really quick just go back. But you can, I believe you can go to settings, and then you can add more names. Like if you have nicknames, you can add a bunch of names here. So kind of whatever you need to add here. So hopefully that answered the question.
Oh, do you want me to take it back, Betty? We're good.
Yes,
Okay.
sorry,
So,
back to you.
yeah, no, no problem, no problem. No problem. So just so we can't really, because like Betty set that up in a fake account, so you can't see the results right away. It takes a while. So here's some results about me that I have, and this is sort of what comes back, just to give you like a little preview of that. So you got a list of 17 results to review, right? So Spokio is one of, I think everybody in the planet is probably on Spokio. You know. you click on it and it shows that I live in the District of Columbia, but I redacted. It shows my full address is in their, website, and that could come up if someone searched for it. And so all I have to do is quick request to remove. You can see down here that I had already requested another service to remove my information, and that request was approved. So just as a reminder, this is not removing that information from the internet. There are services you can get and pay for that do that, but they do will prevent them from appearing in Google search if they search that way. So this is a really you may need something more complicated, but this is an amazingly free first step to start to clean up your digital footprint. So again, as a high risk user, anytime that you can reduce the visibility of your personal information about you, especially if you're a candidate or in a high profile campaign, that's going to be extremely helpful. So the next service we want to talk to you about, I know this seems like a lot, but we're only doing not doing everything tonight. We're just doing a few that we think are really critical. Is dark web monitoring. You've probably seen the ads on TV for Norton. We monitor the dark web, and then we notify you when we find your information, and that's great. I mean, that's fine. We have no problem with that. But Google has a version that's free, which is we like free. Here's how it kind of works. And Betty's going to show you this in a second, but it goes across the dark web, right? This is information about you that's available to bad actors on the dark web because it's been lost in a data breach. That's what this information is. So it goes out into the dark web to look for information about you on the dark web, and it comes back and it shows you, and we'll show you a little bit more of this in a second, what kind of information, what elements of your personal information have been lost. And then if you were to click on these, it would show you exactly which data breach it was lost in. We'll show you a little bit about it in a second. So let me throw it back to Betty, and she's going to sort of demo how you get this up and running.
Thanks, Michael. So similarly to what I was just talking about, results about you and advanced protection, one way to find it is just by Googling dark web report Google, or by reaching it through our site. So you just want to make sure when you Google these, by the way, you add the word Google, because sometimes there are other results, but pretty straightforward. So I will click this dark web report sign in. And then giving you a little bit of info, I'm going to click Start Monitor, and it'll let you select information that you already have within your Google account. So we've got your name, your date of birth, your phone number. I'm going to click Select All, Allow, and then you can add your address if you want. Again, it's good to add multiple addresses, just so can take a look. So let's give you my real address. Um, just kidding. Sometimes it's hard to think of fake addresses on the spot, but obviously I'm giving you just an example address, and I will click done. And now you're monitoring the dark web. So as you can see, it'll give you a list of results here. Name, this will usually be way more filled with things. Name, date of birth, address. So you can click on these specifically to see where on the dark web this was found and what it suggests. So I am going to, it's as simple as that. And to give you more information about what to do and what it looks like, I'm going to give it back to Michael, who's going to show you some examples of what might be found. So back to you, Michael.
Thanks, Betty. So, when Betty ran this against her, real information, there were a few places where her information has been lost. We've redacted, of course, the personal information about her. One was Coachella. They had lost her information quite a while ago, actually. I'm not sure she was aware of this when she first did this. And that found that her email had been, lost in this breach, and also her username as well. And so you're like, what do I do about this? Right? Like, it's on the dark web. I'm not on the dark web. I can't go ask a cyber criminal to remove my information. Google will give you a couple of suggested next steps. And here they're telling you to put on two-factor authentication for mail. Well, you've already done that if you've turned on Google's APP, so you're good on that one. This was lost quite a while ago. So, but it will make those suggestions around things like that. Here is another case where her phone number was lost, right? So, there are different elements of information that could get lost. This is telling you to sign up for the National Do Not Call Registry with your cell phone. Now, by the way, if you do that, you're also getting a lot less spam calls and other kinds of things coming in because it will block a lot of that stuff for you. But you can also have spam protection in right within iOS and Android in the settings. So you should definitely be looking at this. And I think one thing I sort of failed to mention in the beginning is part of what happens on the dark web is, right? So this is two great examples. So in a breach in 2023, Betty's phone number was lost, her email was lost somewhere else. Maybe her date of birth was in another database. Maybe her social security was in another database. A cyber criminal can kind of like, access all those different disparate pieces of information, put them together, and now they're starting to cobble together an identity about Betty, right? They know how to call her, they know how to email her, right? If they were trying to get into one of her accounts or want to create an account in her name and they were like, well, what's your date of birth, because we're going to check that, they have that too. So that's why this is so important, because that's how the bad actors roll with this information. They put it together to create an identity, and that's what they do. So that's it about dark web monitoring. Tiffany, I see you've come back on, so you must have a
Yes,
question or
yes,
three.
I am reappearing. Well, a couple of questions. People want to confirm that do you need a Gmail account in order to set up the dark web monitoring? And also um, highlight the requirement to be logged into personal email versus a workspace account. Can you talk about those two things?
Yeah. So for dark web, okay, thank you. That's a great question. We'll go back up to results about you. You can use with any Gmail account, a workspace account, or a personal email account. Dark web monitoring does require a Gmail account, and it's only available on Gmail. It's not available on your workspace work account. It can only be done through a personal Gmail account. Which of course makes sense because that's the personal information that it's all related to. So yes, you do need a Gmail account. There are other dark web monitoring services out there. So if you don't have a Gmail account, you can just search around for that. There might be some other free ones. There are definitely some paid ones that you can use. Thanks, Tiffany. I guess that's it for the moment. We just want to show you just a couple other quick things that are attached to a Google account, which can be really helpful in making sure that you're doing what you need to do to be secure. So I'll pass it back over to Betty for security checkup and a quick little fun thing that you can do with the password manager.
Thanks, Michael. So the first feature I'll show you is Google's security checkup. So I'm started by being logged into my Google account. So I'm going to go over to the top right and click this grid icon, and then I'll select account. And then all the way over to the left, I'll choose security. And then it says right here, you have security recommendations. So I am going to click that. So if your account is perfect, then it'll say you don't have any recommendations. Good job. But for the most part, it'll just say this protect your account here. So I'll click protect your account. And then as we mentioned, it'll just go through a few different settings. We've got sign in and recovery here first. You can add a recovery email and phone right from here. This is a great way to regain access if you get locked out. And then here, show your devices. So here you can see everywhere that you're signed in on. If you don't see anywhere, if you see somewhere that's unfamiliar, you can log out of it, or something like if you were logged in at a library or hotel or something like that, you can make sure that you log out of it right from here. And then recent security activity, I'm going to click down on that. I have a lot of that, but you probably won't have as much. It's just for me adding a pass key, turning off or on APP, changing your password, etc. So if you see anything that you don't recognize in here, like something was turned off and you don't remember turning it off, you can just click see unfamiliar activity, and you can deal with it right here by reporting it. And then saved passwords. I can click on this and it'll go right to a password checkup. This is a great feature for the password manager. It will look at your passwords and make sure that they're all long, strong, not reused or not compromised. So that is the Google security checkup. And I'm going to click back. And then back here over on the left, there's data and privacy checkup. I'm not going to go through this as thoroughly, but you can click take privacy checkup. And here you can review some of your privacy settings like web activity, how it's being saved, ad personalization, if you want to save the data to get more personalized ads. So it's always good to just click through that and make sure that the settings are what you want in terms of what is being saved and shared. And so that was the privacy and security um, checkups. And I'm just going to show you one more feature related to Google Chrome's password manager. So something cool you can do with the password manager is you see this key icon at the top right in my toolbar. You can place the password manager right here for easy use. So I'm going to click the ellipsis at the top right, these three little dots. I'm going to scroll down to where it says more tools. I will click on that and then I will click customize Chrome and I'll scroll down again to toolbar. I'll click on toolbar. And then you'll see your Chrome Google Password Manager. So as I toggle that off and on, if you look at the top, you can see where that key is. I'm adding it and removing it from the toolbar. So what that does is it just puts it in the toolbar for just a quicker way to access it. You can still use the password manager feature. It still works just the same without seeing it in there, but this is a great way to get to it, especially if you want to do that password checkup that I was talking about, and just check out your passwords, see, maybe you don't use that account anymore. You can delete that password from here. So that is your toolbar. And that is it for me for now. Michael, take it away.
All right, well, get your questions ready. We're happy to answer as many as we can in a few minutes. Just a reminder, this is the portal. That you can't find this all in one place on Google, so we've put it all in one place for you to make your life easier, so you can quickly do your own kind of personal journey through increased security. We also have another resource. This is our knowledge base. This is a help desk for for the political sector. We have a really in-depth information here. We have more how-tos. We have videos. Like we have, information about some of the other things that we think people should do, like how to protect your website from DDoS attacks, how to turn on free products that might do that for you, things like that. More explanations of some of these things and some of the terms that are related to security. So it's a really good resource for you. It's really designed to make it like very fast for you to find the things. It's not all our own content. Sometimes we're just directing you more quickly to the best content that there is out there or to the content of a company. So you don't have to go to their website and look through their help desk or do a Google search and get 9,000, results and not knowing which is the one that you're supposed to use. So this is really to guide you and help you to better security. Just a little more here. Just a couple other things. Next week, at the same time, 6 p.m. Eastern on the 22nd, we are going to look at core protections for campaigns and organizations. So these are the three things that we recommend every campaign and every organization put in place. And we will go through that and we will show you that you can achieve core protections for free. That there are free products to meet every single core protection that you need to have. And we'll go through that and we'll show you that. And that'll be a great training. And a lot of that will be office hours and questions because we want to make sure that campaigns and organizations have all the information they need to move forward. And also partner with us. I don't know, everybody who's on the call today, some of you we may know well, some of you may new to us, but we partner with groups all the time, digital firms, vendors that sell to campaigns, organizations that train and recruit campaigns. We love to partner with people to help us reach those campaigns and and entities that we can provide free services to and to do general information like we're doing tonight. So if you're interested in possibly working with us in any way, shape, or form, even if it's just a twinkle in your eye, just reach out. Good things can come from a conversation. We love talking to people. We love hearing what people are doing and getting, expanding our view of the landscape of what's going on out there. So feel free to email us and we'll set up a call with you and we'll, have a conversation. If something comes to it, that would be awesome. And then thank you. We can move over to questions here in a second. Again, here's our email, info@defendcampaigns.org. Ashton, you can end the recording now.